you, yeah. I'll be loving you. 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 I'll be loving you.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now, right now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Okay. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Popcorn World.
Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this movement up back in my can. Put the big around the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile.
I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Lloyd Spence, and find all of the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including NBA Summer League, Major League Baseball, and the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures, all at betonline.ag. Here's what you got to do. Head to the website and use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts. Tell them.
What's that saying? Breaking down the rumor and smiling out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Till we chose the power with the whisper and the shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey yeah, say it again, say we're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Never noise keeps us lined up. Don't choose to vibe. The sound that you hear is the sound of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the sound. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise.
Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Bring your Good people of Noise Media and beyond, we are back. We are back. We are back. Mama Noise, Mr. Noise, in the building. Glad to be with you here tonight. I hope you're glad to see us. Welcome to the program. This is Noise, Talkin NOIZ from Noise Media and Entertainment. I'm glad to be with y'all tonight. I'm really happy. I'm happy and I know it. Clap my hands. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? Wait a minute. You. There it is. It's very hard to find that camera for some reason. I don't know why. Mama Noise, how you doing tonight?
I'm well.
Yeah, you feeling good?
I'm well.
Are you feeling good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm well was a little, peculiar.
You know.
You just don't have the energy lately. What's going on? You need a hug.
I haven't had a hug lately.
I hugged you last night. I hugged you today. Gave you a little tender kiss on the forehead, best man style. The forehead kiss. You don't remember none of that? You want me to come give you a hug right now?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, because I can do that. I can stop. I can walk out of this broadcast window and go where you are and give you a hug and then come back to the broadcast window.
No, it would look strange to look over there and see an empty chair.
You ain't got to look at it straight. Look at the empty chair. You can just do that. You gotta change my thing again, you buster. Stop changing my avatar.
It's a picture of your family.
Okay, but maybe I want people to see all this fineness.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? All right, there you go. All right, I'll save the hug for after the show. How about that? But it's good to see you. Great to see everybody coming in high on love and understanding. I told y'all White Organist is off right now. He'll be back whenever he's back.
When he gets back.
Well, he's trying to get used to his new circumstances. He's got a new wife, new babies. So I ain't trying to put no pressure on him. And Black Organist was a disaster. So I refuse to keep going through that situation with him. So we'll hold off until White Organist gets back, and then then we'll be up and running or whatever. So
You don't mess around and got no organist.
No, White Organist, we've talked, and he wants me to save the spot for him. So as long as he wants me to save the spot, then I think we all right.
Okay.
Everything else good. Tell me something good is going on with your Mama Noise.
Who do you think I am? Shaka Khan?
What?
Tell me something good.
Yes, I think you Shaka Khan. Tell me something good, Shaka.
That is my soror, I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness. She's my soror too.
Oh, now you want to go claiming your soror, huh?
I always claim Shaka, especially drunk Shaka. I love drunk Shaka.
See,
I love drunk
that's
Shaka.
Just going too
Nobody
far.
loves drunk Shaka.
No,
like I love drunk Shaka.
I will not idly stand by and listen to you talk about Shaka.
What am I doing? I'm telling the truth.
You talking about? Listen, if the barbershop people say can't nobody say nothing about Luther Vandross, then can't nobody say nothing about Shaka.
I had to say something about her because I love her. I love her.
Okay.
All right. So tell us how you're doing, Mama. Can you please tell us how you're doing, please?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
What?
I'm struggling. You know, I realize that I am entirely too bougie to be in the South.
Oh my God. You are hating on the South. I don't like it.
I'm just saying, you know, I've been in the suburbs too long. Why are there so many flies? That's all I'm saying.
There's not that many flies.
Flies, stuff flying. So much stuff flying around here. Take me back to the concrete jungle. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I do better with, you know, there's not a Chipotle for 30 miles. I mean, I can't. I'm struggling because, you know, there's no Chipotles around here. You know, you can't find an avocado unless you travel 20 miles. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle. And then, you know, I'm just too modern. I'm too modern to go down south. No wonder people just go down for a heartbeat of a minute and be like, "We're here for the weekend." Oh, so see everybody. I'm out because, you know, I'm too bougie.
I don't like this slander that you're throwing out here right now.
No, I'm just merely talking about myself. It's just purely myself. But then again, now that I think about it, it's our daughters as well. I'm sure they feel exactly the same way.
I don't think they do.
They are like, I am not built for this Southern life.
Because it's slower than you used to. Is that what it is? Because it's slower?
You know that it's slower.
You don't like the pace?
The stoplights stop at a certain time of night.
They don't stop. Them stoplights ain't stopped. You ain't even been outside at that time. You don't know.
Well, I'm just saying.
Boy, the hate is real in here tonight, boy. It is real. It's real.
You know.
You got your avocados. What you complaining about?
Yes, you did.
You got avocados and fruit and shit. You got some stuff.
Yes, you did. And I'm very grateful for that, sweetheart.
Boy, folk be complaining about stuff.
No, I'm just, you know, saying. Just, you know, you like, dang. I've never heard so many trains in my life.
It's the country, man. We in the country. We in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
I thought I was country a little bit.
No, I told you wasn't country.
Yeah, but you know what? You're right. You're right when you said what you said. I am absolutely.
You're not country. I told you that from the beginning. You're not country.
Well, I am, you know, metropolitan country.
No, there's no such thing.
Absolutely. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
That don't mean you country. That just means you from Louisville, Kentucky.
That's not exactly New York City.
That ain't the country.
Well, it's not, you know, the North either. It's still considered part of the South.
It's Southern. It ain't country though.
So I am Southern. I'm just not country.
Well, and that's not even really Southern. It's Southern-ish.
Whatever you want. I'm just saying I'll lean more to the Southern side than the countryside.
No, you ain't country. I'm country. I'm country by God's grace.
Okay.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I see you rolling outside, ready to get out in it. Okay.
Well, I am out in it. I'm out here in these streets.
Whatever.
I don't mind being country out here. You the one that's struggling.
I admit.
What's
I
up,
admit
man?
the struggle is real.
What's up, Ron? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
You hear all this unnecessary complaining that's going
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary, bro.
You just as country as the rest of us.
Kyrie, I am clearly not country when I can't get a Chipotle for 20, 30 miles. I mean,
They got Chipotle in Little Rock.
30 miles. That's 50 miles, right?
About 45 minutes.
See that there? 50 miles to get a healthy food restaurant.
But think about it. You can just go right over to the general store. She'll make you Chipotles and it'll be 10 times better. It'll be 10 times better.
Miss Bertha will make you whatever you want.
Nope.
Baby, what you want?
No.
She will upcharge you 3,000%, but
no, you'll be like,
it'll be worth it though. You'll be full. You won't have the runs later.
No.
She'll hook you up.
No. Miss Bertha, why is there so many flies in here? Oh, it's all right, baby. Just fan
I tell you what. Let's make a challenge to the noisemakers right now. I will go and get Mama Noise something healthy if somebody would just cash app us right now. Just cash app us right now. And I will make sure Mama Noise eats at least a salad tonight. I'll go. I think there's a Chili's on the other side of town. Just cash app us right now, and I'll go get us some Chili's later on.
Help! I'm in the South.
There's nothing in the South that's healthy.
Look, sir.
Pig, wheat, and cornbread everywhere you go.
I had no idea. I thought because no. I thought.
I mean,
I thought no.
The pig is from the earth. That's healthy.
No. See, I'm talking about no healthy places to go.
It's all of your perspective.
You like? Is there any healthy selections, baby? Green beans is on there.
That's healthy.
You like? There's nothing healthy about those green beans.
No, see, you just said is it healthy? Green beans are healthy. Collard greens healthy.
There's nothing healthy about those collard greens.
Black-eyed peas.
It's all healthy.
It's all healthy.
Stop it. Quit playing.
Applesauce.
Eat your banana.
Applesauce. No. I literally have to eat off the land and say,
that's what they do in the South.
Oh, this is a fresh tomato. There's a start.
Everything you're going to get down there is going to be healthy and fresh. No pesticides on it.
I'm just saying.
You'll come back more healthier than you ever been eating.
Did you enjoy the avocado you had last night?
Well, it was okay. It was okay.
You're doing the most. You are really doing the most.
It was fine.
He had to ride to the border just to get them damn avocados.
No,
I risked my entire life to get them avocados. Mean streets of Pine Bluff.
Healthy eating.
You know they call this the Bloody Bluff.
Healthy eating noisemakers. Help a sister out. Because I mean, I am very much African American. However,
sad.
In the country, there is no healthy eating.
Bacon is healthy. I don't care what nobody says.
Bacon? Stop playing. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure grandma made something good and healthy for you. Just cause you add a little fat back to it, a little seasoning, don't make it unhealthy.
So fat back. Oh my gosh, I haven't had that in I don't know.
Hilarious. Mama Noise is just, I don't know. She's very whiny right now.
Save Mama Noise. Hashtag save Mama Noise.
She's whiny, bro.
See, Lloyd, she could be out there growing her own garden.
Go start a garden now.
Start a garden out back and have all kind of fresh herbs.
Yes, it's too many things flying outside and crawling around.
Outside? What do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, maybe it's a certain time of year. I think I remember my grandmother, digging up the dirt and stuff in a certain time of year. I think at this part of the year is when you looking out there where your stuff is growing. You ain't starting to dig up the stuff at this time of year.
This is just sad. This whole conversation is sad. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to you right now.
You just looking for that convenience. It's just so convenient in the city.
Right. It's just and it don't take all that. Well, Alicia, the problem is we're not in Texas. We're in Arkansas. We're in Arkansas at my grandmother's house. And so it is hot though. It's like 100 degrees here. So, I didn't ask for what's she doing right now. Sean, I didn't ask for none of this. What's she doing right now?
Man, I almost canceled my trip because I saw the weather in Texas.
It's hot, bro. It's hot, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, lucky my ticket's not refundable
because I need you to prepare your heart, mind, and spirit. It's hot.
You pull up to a city and you're like, man, it's a ghost town. Ain't nobody outside.
Lisa, I'm just saying, what is this you done put up? Say, my Lord have mercy. They got it on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, just what is happening right now?
That's facts, Sean. You did ask how I was doing, and I'm just saying.
I did. You're right. That's where I blew it, Sean. Sean, that's exactly where I blew it. And I didn't know you lived in Blythe. That's right. You did tell us you lived in Blytheville. You did.
Alicia, no healthy restaurants for 50 miles.
I mean, there's always something, Mama. No, it's always.
Tara was talking about, I'm a DoorDash you. Girl, ain't no DoorDash down here.
They do have DoorDash down here.
Lloyd.
They have DoorDash.
You gotta go meet him though.
What would they DoorDash, Lloyd? What exactly would they DoorDash?
They got other restaurants besides you. We ain't been to every restaurant in Pine Bluff.
There's so many to choose from.
I'm looking at Pine Bluff right now.
Alicia said they got great pulled pork. Where is the pulled pork restaurant, Alicia? Tell us where it's at.
See?
Hell.
I ain't been to the restaurants in a long time. So tell me where the pulled pork restaurant is. I'm going to pull it up on my tablet.
There's a lot of stuff to do in Pine Bluff.
It is.
I think they got more gas stations than restaurants.
You know what? That's not necessary.
Yeah, at least they ain't liquor stores.
The Lord can't bless what you're doing right now. This is why you're not getting your blessing.
Where's the lie? I'm saying facts.
There's a lot of lies. They ain't telling no facts.
That is facts.
Let's see. Restaurants.
That's just so Mom noise.
Pine Bluff. Okay. So they got a Colonial Steakhouse. See, there's that one. They got the Bar and Grill.
They got a hibachi.
They got just wings.
Kyrie,
They got Kibbs Barbecue.
It's called Pine Bluff Hibachi.
And we drove past it the other day, and it's not open.
Yeah, they closed that.
It did not survive the pandemic, whatever it was.
They got Riches. They closed now, but they got Riches. I gotta take you to Riches. Riches is good.
Cuz, welcome to the show. We have started a campaign called Save Mama Noise from the Country.
She been complaining the whole time, bro.
Hashtag Save Mama Noise and Cash App Prairie Fine by Fire. There is no healthy food restaurants within 50 miles, and so
there's a lot. There's a Red Lobster.
There's a Red Lobster.
Mama Noise, you need to get over it.
She does. She really does, cuz. Thank you.
I decided that I am clearly Southern, but not country.
There's a song. Oh, you're more country than you think. There's a song. It says, "Be grateful for what you got."
Come on now.
Be driving that great big Cadillac.
I don't remember that in the song.
What is that? Cadillac? That drove right off of the hymn book, right? That wasn't at the church, right?
I don't remember that one at the church.
That
might be a slide-in hymn book.
Pastor Coy.
Pastor Coy in the building, official pastor of Noise Media. They don't have a White Castle. I'd have been and got some White Castles if they had a White Castle.
Wright's Barbecue. I mean, Mama knows all kind of food down there.
There's options. That's what I'm trying to tell her. There's options.
No, negative. Options.
You know,
there's a Chili's.
Yep. They got a Panda Garden buffet restaurant.
And I got her the avocado she complained about for 4 days.
Oh Lord.
I don't know who that is.
Is that you, cuz?
30 seconds, man. 30 seconds.
That don't sound like no hymn.
That's the kind of hymns they play a slide in.
But the bottom line of the song is going to say, "Be grateful for what you got."
Sun rooftop, diamond in the back, digging in the scene with the gangster lean. Woo woo.
Just be grateful for what you got.
Who sang that?
Don't worry about it, Mama Noah. That's the Indian part of you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
He said that's the Indian part of you. Wow.
See that there? See that? That's just, why he don't get the button? Why he don't get
what button should he get?
I bet you if we were stumping out,
that's the Indian part of you.
I bet you if we were stumping out a fire right now, you would have known that.
That was it right there. That was
see,
that was racist. That was racist. That definitely qualified. That was there's no question about that one. That was
he was so close. He was
on the line, and then he leaped over it like he was leaping over a broom on a wedding day. It was
Mama Noah, listen. Let me tell you something. Seriously, all joking aside, let me know this thing right here. Just touch it. You got to learn to appreciate where you are.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because there's a blessing that's gonna come through it.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, preacher.
To get to what you really want.
Come on.
What you can't do is be out here talking about save Mama Noise.
That's what I said.
From the country. Do you know how much good has come out of the country?
You know how good it is, Jay. It's so good that you go there and stay for 24 hours and come back to Texas.
Well, now you ain't. Well, shit, that's true.
You know. Yay, Al B.
What up, Al B?
Hey, man, guess what?
What's that?
What's up, fam?
He got the book. Okay, so I keep forgetting, and I'm glad Ron brought it up today. Y'all need to get this. Let me put Ron in the solo here real quick. Y'all need to get this book. This book is Young Justice Killebrew, son of Weller and Lorica Killebrew, Noisemakers Weller and Lorica Killebrew. But what I love about it most is that it is written by the brilliant Justice Killebrew, aka Young Jay. And what makes the book so amazing is that Jay, for those who may or may not know, has been blessed with autism. And some people try to say, oh no, autism, you can't function, you can't do amazing things. Well, Jay is out here trending #1 on not just the young authors list on Amazon, but #1 in Black poetry. And he killing it out here in these streets with his book, What's Jay Say? So go get the book on Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only? I think that's the only place you can get it right now, right?
Yeah, that's the only place I found it so far.
Yeah. So go to Amazon.com.
#1 in religion.
Right.
And #1 African American authors.
Right. What's Jay Say is the name of the book. So go get it. Quit playing. Stop playing. What's Jay saying? And thank you, Ron, for reminding me. Appreciate you, brother. Because we've been meaning to mention it for the last couple of days, and just I guess it was a lot going on. We got distracted by some stuff. So I don't have, just real quick, I don't have a significant update other than I was told that he's doing better than he was doing. Not really sure exactly what that means, but he's doing better than what he was doing, and to keep praying. That's what we were told. So that's what we're gonna be doing.
Well, if the word "better" is in whatever
we always like better. We definitely always like better. So that's good. And speaking of better, well, I don't know if he's doing better. I think he's doing better. Pastor Gray, the leg clot is gone from what we were told, but the chest clots are not gone. So he's still fighting through his circumstances.
You swap me and Cuz or something. You
don't like being this high up?
I don't like being on top. I'm a bottom camera guy.
Oh wow, I don't not really sure what to do with that.
But his condition was well enough to be transported, right?
Yeah, I think the leg one was the one maybe they were the most fearful of for whatever reason. Well, they're fearful of it all, but I think that was the one I think they were fearful that it would travel. if moved, and that one they were able to dissipate, and so they were able to transfer them to a treatment center. So they're working on them as we speak. So now none of this interests Cuz. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, none of this interests Cuz. He could care less what happens to Pastor John Gray.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
On their side.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, y'all?
Damn. That way you can open.
I mean, that's just.
Why would I give a wahite about what happens to John Gray?
Damn. Because he's a pastor. He's a pillar in the church community.
Hey, he's in the arms of the Almighty.
Woo!
Oh Lord.
So why am I sitting back here fretting what's going to happen to John Gray? And I don't even know the son of a biscuit.
Well, let's hope he ain't in the arms of Almighty yet.
He's a black man. He's a black man.
Well, we're all in his arms. We're all he. That song say he's working it out.
He's working it out.
That's right.
For me.
There you go.
I'm so glad the Lord said.
You don't feel nothing for him, cuz? Nothing at all. No.
Why would I run? I don't know him. When I die, is he gonna feel something for me?
He might. He should.
When Ray Ray is shot in Chicago, do we feel something for Ray Ray?
I do.
I feel bad for Ray Ray. I don't like when Ray Ray died.
On their way to school in Detroit or LA, do we feel something for them?
Yes.
The hell? They change shit, so obviously we don't give a shit.
Listen,
but the scripture says, honor the man of God.
The man.
I do believe in that. I do believe in that. Problem is,
we feel bad for all
these men. The problem is whether or not all these men of God are men of God.
Oh wow! Now you question his credentials.
Some of them out there just trying to get a come up.
Now you question the whole man's job profession.
Ain't no other job in the community, so therefore.
Well, he pastored the church, so he a man of God whether he want to be or not. Whether he was called or not, they hired him.
Well, I do believe God could take.
Well, he was called, but we don't know by who.
So. Right, somebody called it. We don't know if it was God or we don't know if it was God or Deacon Bennett, but he was called.
He filled out his job application like everybody else, and he got hired.
They looked at his resume and said, "Ooh, you could be a pastor."
What was his dad? Was his dad a pastor?
I don't think so.
We should look that
I
up.
apologize. I got my baby here. I keep forgetting that she's here. She ain't been with me in almost 5 weeks, so I keep
Cannibal.
So that's why I'm chitter chatting, talking, trying to get her sick.
It's so good to know that she's with you right now. God bless that.
You say that from a distance. You say that from a distance.
Amen.
Love our children. We love our children here at Noise Media and Entertainment.
The background wave.
Hey, look at you now. Girl, you look different. You look older and even more blessed.
Look happy. Look happy.
You are muted and can't nobody hear nothing.
Dog. She got the Bahamian sun.
Yeah, she got that.
She look like her daddy.
She do like her daddy.
Stop.
She's so beautiful. Well, listen, I guess we got to do a show at some point here. We actually have a pretty good topic here tonight. It's actually in alignment with kind of what Cuz was saying just a minute ago. Do we have our sights on better, or are we incapable of better? So I'll tell you what inspired tonight's topic. Cuz be finding stuff that be like 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old, and I'll be like, what? When did they do this interview? And when you look it up, you be like, man, this interview old as hell. But it'd be new to him. So we found an interview where the Breakfast Club did an interview with former President Barack Obama, but he's our forever President, Barack Obama. And in the I ain't even finished the setup yet. Can I finish the setup, brother? Are you gonna forget? Because if you gonna forget, I'll stop. Okay. So in the interview, they asked him, what did he do for black people? which is a question that a lot of people ask as it relates to President Barack Obama. What did he do for black people? He didn't do nothing for black people. And so he proceeded to say, well, I lowered poverty. More people got jobs in my tenure than the black community. Less people went to jail in the black community. And he just listed several different things that he did in the black community. But the one thing I always tout that he did in the black community was that he was an example for the black community. He was a scandal-free, problem-free, at least publicly anyway, black man for black men. He showed black men how to be good fathers. He showed black men how to be good husbands. And he did that from the highest office in the land. To me, that alone might be the best thing we've ever seen in the black community. So it got me to thinking of that question. That's wrong, but there we go. Do we have our sights on better, or are we incapable of better in the black community? Because when somebody sets you an example like President Obama set for us, and you openly start to question, did he do anything for black people? It gets me to thinking, are black people aware of what black people are actually doing? Like, do we know that it's better than what it used to be? Now, it's still not where it needs to be, but it is better than what it used to be.
Holy Jesus. Holy
I'm just saying. So, and there are a lot of great examples to look at and celebrate. There really are. Now, what we've done, which brings the second part of the question of the incapability of being better, is that we spend most of our time celebrating the worst of ourselves as opposed to the best of ourselves. So here we are with tonight's question. And Cuz had his hand up, his finger. You had your finger up, so tell us what your finger was wanting.
I send what I send, regardless of how old it is, because knowledge and wisdom never gets old.
Talk about that, boy. You preached it just now.
Whenever we can use a soundbite in order to uplift and teach, then I think it should be done.
I agree, which is how we arrived here tonight.
And I'm gonna say this at the onset. I wanna help you guys on this here device and those that are out there in listening land. Presidents derive their power from their constituents. If those that had voted for Barack Obama had truly stood with Barack Obama on that first midterm, he could have done a whole lot more for black people. The problem is we rolled our asses with him in order to get him elected, and then we set our asses out on the midterm elections. We are getting ready to do the same thing for Papa Joe or Granddaddy Joe or old ass Joe, whatever you want to call Joe. We're about to do the same thing for Joe. And see, the problem is those that are on the other side of the aisle and the Joe Manchins of the world, they're looking at poll numbers. See, the reason why Republicans didn't really stand against Donald Trump is because his poll numbers amongst his base never went down. We keep walking around here talking that bullshit.
Oh my.
About Papa Joe, and his poll numbers are tanking. He got more votes than any president in history. And he's about to get a shellacking in midterm, and then we're going to be sitting back and saying, well, what did he do for us? Same difference. I'm done.
You're not done.
No more politics. No more politics. I'm done.
That literally is not true. But but I will say there's a truth to what you're saying, though.
That was the whole truth. What you mean, a truth?
There is amen. Hey. There's a truth to what he's saying, because it does appear that the poll numbers are so bad for Papa Joe, or what'd you call him? Old ass Joe. That the reality is it does not look good for the midterms at all. And
that's why Barack couldn't do anything, because he lost that first midterm.
Well,
he can't come on that interview and blame black people. He has to put on a good grin and answer the question to the best of his ability.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was blaming black people as much as black people were blaming here. We'll let you hear some of the interview. Here it is right here.
In a state that
I had it queued up, and then technology did what it does.
Reading this book and all that you did
in the country.
That I don't think it had anything to do with the country.
Yeah, I got to cut down some of them trees out there. The signal is weak.
Will you stop that, please?
How come things didn't change?
I think people want to know, like, what did you do specifically for black people? Not the rising tide lifts all boats types of rhetoric, because we all know black people's boat got a hole in it. So the systemic things that were done to black people to put us in these positions, we need specific systemic things to get us out. So,
what I'm saying, Charlamagne, is black poverty dropped faster than everybody else. Black incomes went up more than a lot of other folks. So, the issue is sometimes we just didn't go around advertising that, because once again, the goal here is to build coalitions where everybody is getting something so that they all feel like they've got a stake in it. But a lot of my policies were targeted towards people most in need. Those folks are disproportionately African American. Now, there are some things that, for example, us having a civil rights division in the Justice Department that actually took seriously civil rights and imposed consent decrees on places like Ferguson, and changed sentencing guidelines so that we didn't max out on sentencing for all nonviolent drug offenses, but changed the incentive so that prosecutors were judged not by how long of a sentence you got, but did you get a proportional sentence? Was it a fair sentence? Those kinds of changes that we made, that's why I say there's a reason why the federal prison population dropped. By the way, at the same time, the crime also dropped, right? So we were able to show that you can have a smart strategy in terms of reducing crime without expanding incarceration. But the truth of the matter is, Charlamagne, at the end of the day, there is no way in 8 years to make up for 200 years.
Absolutely.
And that really is where I kind of wanted to rest my hat and head, because I do think there is an expectation of any president that he will erase 200 years in the span of 8 years, which is a really, really deeply unrealistic expectation. You can't beat my ass for 200 years and in 8 years make it all better.
I mean, look, hell, shit. We talk about President Harris. I mean, Vice President Harris, Kamala, and they ain't been there. They ain't been there 2 years yet, and we already slamming on her. But what's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing?
Well, but we talk about her.
What's she doing?
But we talk about her inactivity. We don't talk about we're the expectation should be, though, the president, because one thing that President Obama was in his 8 years was present. Like, you didn't have to find him. It wasn't like a Where's Waldo situation. You knew where he was, and we knew what he was attempting to try to do at all times. And I think that matters.
Question. Just because it's me, and what's the one thing black people wanted the president to do only for black people?
Hush your mouth, man. You about to preach a whole sermon. God.
That's a great question. I
mean, everybody complains about what did he do for black people. What did you want him to do for black people? What is it that he could have did solely? That
I
would
do
only.
believe- I do believe that there are policies that are geared towards those that don't have a voice as much as others. The least of these, I do believe that there are policies that can benefit working class, low income people, but it's not for Black people.
And that's what I'm saying. So if you say lower class people, that's lower class people. Now, 80% of those may be Black people, but there's 5% white.
Oh no, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of white people that's
No,
just go to Florida. They there. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm just throwing a percentage out there. I mean, any policy he would have put in for lower income or something, it's always going to impact more than just Black people. I don't know. I don't know if something that you could do specifically for.
Maybe the something specifically for Black people could have been amending the part of the it's the Constitution that Black people are more than just that minimal percentage of a person.
But what would that do for us?
It would probably, so we're at least on the same level of it, because according to this, if I'm wrong, I mean, you guys are the lawyer, you the historian,
you're right. It's the 113. I mean, you're right.
Then if you make that correction that we've grown, we're making progress, we're moving forward. When you keep stepping over that, but then you can turn around and say Asian Americans we need to address that they're not they're not getting their rights or whatever. You step over Black people and move to that because the percentage of Vice President Kamala is Asian.
Kamala, her name is not no damn Kamala.
Well, it depends on how you pronounce it. Black
Kamala is the wrestler. That's the wrestler.
Kamala, Vice President Harris. I said it.
Yeah, we know in the sports industry that that would be the Ugandan pronunciation.
Right. Yeah.
Well, perhaps that's the Black part of her people.
Or perhaps that's the negative part that the Wahites want to say about her.
Well, I said Harris. I said that part too.
But the truth of the matter is, the early stages of that interview, he made it clear what most of the problem is with the Black community. They have a misconception that the presidency of the United States is that of a monarchy, whereas the person in charge, such as the Queen, so let it be said, so let it be done, and it doesn't work that way here in the United States. So and then the clip that you did play, he kind of in a roundabout way, or he did say that his policies were designed to help people of color.
Right.
Now, did he come out and say,
hey, Black people,
this Black people, this? No, but he designed policies knowing that the predominantly affected demographic would be African Americans.
Right. I think Pastor Corey hit it on the head too, Al, in addition to what you just said. A lot of people wanted money. They wanted these reparations. They wanted to see how we could get paid in this, and they still do. If you really get down to the brass tacks, that's really what we're talking about. A lot of people are like, when are we getting this check?
But what's it going to do for you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth, Ron, and I know
nothing.
Well,
because 80, Lloyd, come on, 80% of them gonna go out and buy some Gucci, gonna go out and buy some Prada and some Birka bags and some Cadillacs and some BMWs.
That's if we give it to them.
Same thing they did with the
stimulus money.
Yeah.
That's if we give it to them in that way.
Ninjas preaching. You ninjas preaching.
That's if we give it to them in that way. If we give them a straight ahead check and say just go spend, then yeah, I think it's a waste. But I think we have to get into a conversation because we can't not acknowledge the fact that there is a gross disproportional advantage that one race has over another. That is true. That is facts.
100% agree. But giving reparations in a lump sum isn't going to fix that gap.
It could, but not if you just give people a check. I agree with that.
You can't give people with bad spending habits a bunch of money.
But that's why I said you can't give people. But see, you stop waving.
Pastor, what's your cash?
You stop waving and stop talking about cash app. You ain't rich in a dime. Here's the reality. I agree with what you guys are saying that if you give people a straight ahead check similar to the stimulus money, it will be for wasteful spending. However, we do have to find ways because reparations doesn't have to just be that we gave people a check. Restoration could be so many other different things that allow for a leveling of the economic playing field. And that's what we're talking about.
Name one. Just give me one.
Okay, we can listen, one way to reparize the black community is to start making this tuition free.
Is that a word?
Is that a word?
I made it a word.
Okay, because you lost me there, boy. Like it's some sliding.
You make up words here.
Give us the first 2 years to an associate's free.
I thought they were trying to make community college free.
But that's my point. Give us that first 2 years free.
You know, I don't disagree with that, but the cost of college is not really prohibiting you from getting a degree.
But
you may use that as an excuse.
Hold on. But that's not the point of the reparations. The reparations is a saying we're going to give opportunity to level the playing field, the economic playing field. So now what we're saying is we're putting what I like about doing that is that you put the onus back on black people. Because we're saying as black people, hold on, we're saying as black people that we don't have a level playing field. Okay, then let's put some policies in place that level the playing field. Then we'll see if that's the real problem.
So,
being honest, I don't think that's the real problem.
So technically,
that's just the excuse we use to justify not doing what we need to do to level the playing field.
So the couple of policies that he did talk about, technically, you could say is reparations, a form of reparations.
Obamacare is a good step in the right direction.
So reparations,
but it still makes the financial responsibility on black people. And so I like it, but I don't know if it did what black people really want done. We want some things to just be handed to us. And I get that. I understand that. And I even to some degree respect it. But my thing is Alicia saying Kentucky's already doing that, but everyone cannot go to college. And so that's the problem. What I'm saying, we have to do the work on our end. Listen, if they gave us 40 acres and a mule, you still got to go tend the land. The crops just don't grow just because you got 40 acres.
And what happens if you don't know how? You don't know how to fertilize crop. You don't know how to rotate crop. You don't know how to maintain. So,
Well, you don't. The reality is you don't. But that's the point that I'm actually making. Would we, if they gave us the opportunity, the access to these economic opportunities to level the playing field, would we as black people do the work to find out what we need to do to take advantage of those things? So if you got a letter in the mail tomorrow and that letter said, congratulations, Al Brown, congratulations, Ron Nolan, Cuz Noise, you have been given your 40 acres and a mule. Would you, congratulations and good luck on how you plan to do whatever you need to do. would you then go seek the wherewithal to go and figure out how to take that 40 acres, leverage it to a bank loan, and then cultivate the land to do what you need to do? Would you do that?
I would.
Right, you would.
I would. I'd build a hell of a house on that damn land.
And Lewis said he'd sell it. That's what most black people would do.
75 to 80% would.
Right.
Hell no, I wouldn't work that land. You crazy as hell, you is. Hell, I look out there behind a damn mule. Who the hell I look like? Shit.
Now, Sean brings up an interesting point. He said, well, Trump did a bunch of stuff for black people, and we hate him, so we can't acknowledge it.
Because Trump is a racist.
And I always have a debate with a lot of people when they say Trump did a lot for black people. Trump did the exact same thing Obama did for black people. Matter of fact, Trump capitalized on the start of what Obama did for black people.
And my point to this conversation is, does it matter?
And it really doesn't.
Does it really matter who did what? Because if black people aren't going to go and do for themselves, take advantage of whatever is done for them, does it really matter who's in the office?
And here's goes back to Al's point. We really shouldn't give a damn about the president. The people we really need to be worrying about is those 100 people who make the laws, who produce the laws, who write the laws, who put the laws in front of the damn president.
Well, that's Steve.
What I want to know is, what in the hell is Sean talking about? He talking about the prison thing? Is that what he's talking about? Because I want to know what he's talking about.
Trump always touted.
Because if you tried as much as they tried to take away health care from Americans, like they tried to take away health care over and over and over again, then tell me what you're doing to help black people. If they had destroyed Obamacare, people would have suffered.
Trump's biggest claim to fame for black people was the unemployment rate dropped even further when he took an office for black people.
But
it was already dropping.
It was already, we were already in a bull market. It was already trending in that direction. So, but what Trump did, he did for black people who had a little more than nickels to rub together in their pocket. So those that had a few quarters and soft dollars benefited from the policies of Donald Trump.
His tax policy helped some of the middle class, but boy, it helped the upper class way more than it helped the middle class. But middle class people was happy because they saw a little break.
That's funny.
His tax policy did not help me.
Oh, it didn't help all middle class.
And I got one or two nickels to rub together.
Here's what's interesting. I just Googled. I just Googled things Trump did for black people, and nothing was found. Just FYI.
But like I said, his biggest claim to fame was the unemployment, the tax credit that he put out.
Things that were already trending.
Right.
But he was able to tout it, and everybody accepted it.
Tim Hinkle said he made more money when Trump was in the office.
You say that the tax policy helped you, Mr. Hinkle?
That's what he said.
It helped a lot of people. It did help a lot of people. But it just depended on where you were at the time that it happened.
You can't name one damn thing you did with that tax break.
Oh, it didn't help me because my taxes stayed the same.
Damn thing.
I'll say this again. Does it matter? Because did the behavior and mannerisms of black people as a whole, culturally, did it shift at all in any of those presidents? In any president we've had, has it made black people be more responsible? Has it made so? My thing is, we're saying we want better for the black community, but it feels like we want better, but we don't want to be responsible for how better emerges. We want somebody else to make it better.
And then we don't understand politics. We really don't, because we're arguing that the president needed to do more. You guys know who passed laws. It's not the president.
Do we need do we need politics to be better for us to be better? Is that what we waiting on? Is that the caveat that's going to shift the black community as a whole? Unmute out.
We need the government by the people for the people to truly be of the people and for the people.
Okay.
And it's not.
But see, I agree with Al. But see that's a very catchy phrase, but I don't think it's as real as we want it to be, because the government is always working for people.
People.
It always benefits people.
For people.
So the bottom line is
what's the caveat? What's the caveat? It doesn't work for all people.
Well, it's never going to work for all people. The government is always going to have to pick losers and winners.
That's what they promised us all these years.
The government always has to pick losers and winners with policies. Somebody has to pay for a policy, regardless. So nothing's free.
Yeah, no rule ever benefits both
everybody.
Because I'm really surprised at this discussion and the way you're approaching it. Because I'm asking, I'm throwing up a live and you keep missing the pitch. What policy do we need in place in politics that's going to make black fathers go home and be good for their families?
None.
That's my point.
There's no policy that you're going to put in place
that's
going to make them go home to be
right. What policy do we need in place for us to fight and support our own? What policies do we need in place politically?
There is none.
I'm just asking because if there's a policy that we can put in place, we need to fight for that right now. And no, it didn't work in the Asian community. Asian community don't need the government to do ish for it. They saying we're gonna pool our money. We're gonna go buy this shopping center, and then we're gonna support this shopping center and make sure it's around for the next 35 to 40 years and support our own.
Name one policy that's written today that forces other nationalities to do that. What you're asking. So it's not a policy thing.
It's a mindset. That's where I keep asking. Like President Obama did stuff. He actually gave us advantages that could aid us to be more self-sufficient. But we didn't take advantage of it. We chose to do, to be just like Al said, we chose to spend the stimulus check. We chose to take Obamacare, and now I got Obamacare, so now I can run up this absorbent hospital bill, or I could go get the BBL or whatever it is we were trying to get. Whatever, we chose to be reckless. We choose to be reckless with our own. We have the highest spending power of any group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that money does not come to us. It ain't making our situations better. It ain't making our communities better. It's not empowering us to be better. So it just makes you wonder, do we really want better? We say we do, but it feels like we want better from somebody. We want somebody else to step. We have wow, I'm going to get a lot of trouble for what I'm about to say. To me, Jesus is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. He is. Accepting him as my savior is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Mm. But it feels like we want him to keep saving us over and over and over again.
Mm. Okay.
And we keep looking for a Jesus-like figure. We wanted Obama to save us again. Save us, Obama, from ourselves. Save us, Obama, from our circumstances. Save us, save us, save us. And Jesus is saying, man, no, I've saved you. I've already saved you. Now you got to take what I've done and empower and go and use what I've done and use what I've given you and use that to build something else. And it just feel like that's not where we are as a whole.
Correct.
I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all tell me what you think.
All right, you're right. I believe because I treat that like you treat prayer. Every time there's a problem, what they tell you to do. Pray on it. Every time there's something, pray on it. You never heard anybody tell you put the work in for the prayer you just put out. We treat Obama like we're gonna pray that Obama's gonna fix it. We're praying that Obama's gonna fix it.
Well, if they read the scripture says faith without works is dead. Right. So work is required, not just faith alone. But
like I said, put a policy in. Isn't that just basically putting in faith? Prayer
well,
no work.
I feel like the same thing what Lloyd just said is that, and I'm always passionate about this. I've always said it here is that, when we got, I don't know, we have all these black businesses and we say we want to support black business, but we don't support black business. We say, okay, I want to get, I want to buy a storefront. So then, I can create a place. I think they did it in Atlanta, if I'm not sure. I'm pretty positive. No, it was Atlanta, where somebody just took an old storefront, bought it, and then made like studios or whatever to it, so that all these businesses, all these black businesses, would have a place to get started, to have some resources. And then, where I understand it, and I'm looking forward to going to visit there actually, is because it's grown so big. I think that's the same area that I think TD Jakes has bought. He's bought land around that or whatever as well. But it's like somebody said, all we need is a location. We get a location and ask the black community to come and support it, not just every now and then, but support it, because just like Lloyd's example, and I've seen it time and time again here in Plano, is that, man, the Asian community will go and buy it. They've at least purchased 5 or 6 storefronts in the area. And when I tell you they transform those storefronts, and they don't just transform it and make it all beautiful and just leave it that way. They bond together and say, we are going to move this storefront forward. We're going to put our banks in there. We're going to put our churches in there. We're going to put our beauty salons in there, nail salon. We're going to put all our stuff in there, and then we going to support it. They ain't saying, hey, Wahites, come over to this storefront. Hey, Negroes, come over to this storefront. They supported themselves. So if ain't nobody else's cars out there, it's their own.
Al, you just gonna say something? What were you going?
The sad statistic is less than 5%. And when I say less than 5%, I want to say it's close to 2% of the black spending dollar, which exceeds $1 trillion. Less than 2% stays in the black community.
That's right.
So Sean says black people are their own worst enemy. Y'all sound just like the Wahites talking about us not spending money right. Well, I don't know the reason I'm bringing it up, Sean, is because it's a reality. It's a reality. Now, I'll be honest with you. I know I'm part of the problem. And black business is also part of the problem. Because when I do try to patronize black business, I think I told a story earlier last week where I tried to go see Miss Deborah. I don't know if that was a real name, but Miss Deborah. I tried to go to her grocery store, and Miss Deborah upcharged the ish out of me. And I was like, doggone, Miss Deborah, you gonna just jack me up like that? Like you gonna charge me 200% more than what it costs? And so it's we can't make it hard for ourselves either. But you're right, Al. 2%. I mean, how do you empower a community that they can't get no money?
And I completely understand. We have a dear friend that is a black entrepreneur, owns their own business, and he's explained to us numerous times the difficulties it is with the distribution when it comes to minority businesses and small black businesses, and I understand that. But it's tough but we have to be in a position to make those sacrifices to say, regardless of the 200, 300% markup, which is common when you're dealing with black businesses, regardless of that, I'm going to support this black business. And it's
we got to fight through it.
I can't go into Cousin Willie's stop mart and give him $5.29 for a gallon of milk. I'm not in that position.
Right.
When I can go to Kroger's and get a gallon for $1.99.
Right.
Well, that's the same struggle we had here, where it was a group of sisters that were trying to open a beauty supply store. There was a bunch of sisters. They like, we did it. We opened our own beauty supply store. But the markup on that place was unbelievable when you can go 2 blocks to Mei Lee's store and her cousin them are giving you the prices are ridiculously low. And you saying, why do I need to go to the sisters when Mei Lee now has got the lick down there? I can get 5 of them for $5. Why am I doing that? Because I want to support the community, and the black business of the sisters went out of business just like that.
You're right, Mama.
God damn, that was racist.
It's all about
it was truthful.
It was true, but you earned it. You earned it.
You, because you said the name. You double down on the name. You double down on the name.
Yeah.
But the name of their business was the sisters.
No, we talking about the Mei Ling.
Well, that was Mei Ling.
Yeah, you knew what part we was talking about.
You saying May what? Mei Lee?
Mei Ling.
Mei Ling.
I mean,
Sean said black people patronize all these other businesses, get treated like ish and keep coming back, just like the hair stores and corner store. Boy, you said a mouthful there. That's true.
But it's a mentality, unfortunately, in the black community. We would accept crazy shit from other people, but we won't accept it from ourselves.
Well, that's not true, Ron, because I'm gonna tell you something I've learned since I've been in Pine Bluff. One thing Pine Bluffians are doing, they are accepting horrible customer service, because I have not been to a place yet where the customer service here in this city is, these young people they need healing and mentors and deliverance. It is terrible. I literally went to a store, Ron, the other day, and the girl behind the counter was ringing herself up first. So I looked at what I had, and I said, I don't think that's the price. She said, this ain't yours. This is mine. I'm ringing myself up. I'll get to you in a second. I was like, oh, I didn't know I didn't know I was in a line. I didn't realize I was in a line.
You can't stop midway through a transaction.
Clearly, her transaction was far more important than mine.
Trash.
I was like, what is going on? But that's the reality. That is the reality.
But outside of Pine Bluff, you'll go restaurants. I use restaurants as one look. You'll go to a trash restaurant over and over again. You can go to a black business restaurant. Food was good the first time. Second time you go, they had a bad day. You will butcher the hell out of their restaurant, and they'll stop going. But they go to that same white restaurant over and over.
No, should we not have an expectation of our own doing better?
Have the same expectation for your black brethren as you do for the white.
And see, I do. I just want a good experience wherever I go. But I don't know. I just feel like why
you can't talk about keep patronizing that company because they crap and you still constantly go. But one time you get at the other restaurant, you want to stop. I mean, come on. You're gonna do it for one, do it for all.
I try to be that consistent. I try to be. I don't know, Mr. Cuz and Al, what y'all think about that?
I'm not choosing bad quality. I don't give a damn who what color skin. If it's poor quality, then what I won't do is patronize you and get treated like crap, because customer service is generally a little less appreciative, and your prices are much higher than your competitor. That's what I'm not going to do. Now, if you're going to treat me like crap, just like the white man, cut me some slack on your prices.
Right. And Charles said, I don't want to go somewhere and my feet are sticking to the floor.
You ain't never been to Waffle House then?
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't mind it at Waffle House because I actually expect it.
You know, you'll tolerate that.
Listen, two places I will tolerate racism and nastiness: Waffle House and Cracker Barrel. I will walk through that racism.
When's the last time you been to a Cracker Barrel?
Been a long time, man. It's been a minute. Well, Mama Noise figured out how to make the pancakes. So I ain't no reason to go.
The pancake formula ain't the same, so.
But
Changed it. Oh, I'm done then. I'm not gonna go for bad pancakes.
Well, but I was thinking about what Ron said about the black restaurants. Listen, if we would drive all the way on the other side of town, how far is it to get over to the cliff from where we are?
Oak Cliff?
Yeah, to go and get some
40 minutes.
Soul food. Here's the thing. I'm not saying you got to dress up in a full-fledged uniform, but if the restaurant shouldn't look like it's convicts and cabbage. It should look like I should be able to come in there and not feel like I'm in fear for my life because you guys serving the food is suspect. I mean, suspicious where you like, I left my purse in the trunk, let me make sure I lock all my doors and stuff like that. He's just like, man, can I roll up there and just get that customer service that I know that black people are capable of?
Did you say convicts and cabbage?
Convicts and cabbage.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see.
Because I'm sitting there looking like, I just came to get some soul food. But I feel like if you got that kind of restaurant, then get it up as a drive-through. So then I ain't even got to see y'all. Just let me go.
Go ahead.
Maybe that's why you're struggling in Pine Bluff, Mama Noise, because I'm perfectly comfortable going into any environment to get the food I want.
I don't have a bigger problem with
I don't have a problem with it at all.
Because we go to Indies, Mama Noise, and that's always been
convicts, cabbage, and chicken.
I mean,
I like a whole.
And I enjoy it. Listen, I just got a code switch. I got to switch off. But
at Indies, at least behind the bulletproof window. So you stay back there, and I'm out here.
But think about it, you went to a restaurant with a bulletproof window,
right?
Well, that's not even black owned.
Is that the only place you can get good soul food, for crying out loud?
It might be, Mama Noise. It might be. You might have to walk through that crime to get a good cornbread.
But think about that concept. We would go to a restaurant with bulletproof glass that's not even black owned. The same restaurant could be black owned, and I guarantee you, half the people won't patronize that.
I don't have no problem with that. I think that's Mama Noise's personal fear. I don't have no problem with it. That's why I'll make her stay in the car sometimes, or I don't even take her with me because I'm going. If I want some good soul food, and I got to go to Ray Ray's, Bell Bond, and ribs, then that's where I'm going.
It just, again, we're more acceptable for other races to do some of the same shitty shit that we do than we are with our own.
Well, because they will come up in the hood and set up a restaurant in a New York minute like it ain't no big, it ain't no thing. How has Indies been able to stay there all these years?
Because it's good.
But they not black people.
It's the only game in town. They sat out there and they did it. But like I said, if another black company would have did the same thing, would we still give them the same amount of money, same amount of respect as we give Indies? And if we got to quit saying their name because they don't pay us no money.
They don't pay a dime yet. Not
well,
yet.
I'm gonna just tell you, is that Chinese restaurant still on Broadway, 22nd and Broadway?
Why are you being so local? This is.
I'm just asking. I'm asking Kyrie a question. It was there when
I can hear your question though.
You know what, Spence?
Go ahead.
I'm saying because it's been there since I was like 10 years old. And then they upgraded to, remodeling and all that, and still stayed in that same place for
you still eat there when you go back home. So what's the problem?
But I'm saying that. Oh, thank you, Alicia. She said it ain't there no more.
Yeah, because on 22nd ain't much right there.
22nd and Broadway. It was right there next to
Mama Noise.
It was next to the rallies. Chopstick.
Yeah.
But guess what Mama Noise used to say when we go back there? Baby, can you go by there and get me some Hawaiian fried rice?
That's right. I'm just saying.
Well, then you can't listen. You can't complain about it.
People to stay in that same spot, regardless of what, for at least 30 years.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, you can't complain about that and complain about the crime too. You got to choose.
They had a drive-through. I had to get out of my car.
Well, that's not true. You got to get out sometime. That drive-through be packed. It used to be packed,
but ain't there no more.
So okay. I don't want to hear that. That's your hang up. I don't have no hang up there. My only issue is I want us to be consistent and do better for ourselves. We have to set better examples for ourselves. That's my problem with all of this. Like, we're waiting on somebody to rescue us, and we are our own solution. That's my problem. Why can't we be our own solution? Uncle Joe, listen. He's the best. He's better what the alternatives are. But I can't expect Uncle Joe to care about my community more than I care about it. I can't. He can't relate to what I go through. He ain't never been to White Castle.
Uncle Joe's got to pull the line, man. He knows what he can say on his black side of the fence, and he knows what he can say on his white side of the fence.
Joe, you know how much Joe don't relate to us? Joe expect the black vote. That's why he felt comfortable in going on a black radio station saying, if you don't vote for me, I question your blackness.
That's because he had Kamala on there, and she
was not on that episode.
Yep, I'm saying he had Kamala on the ticket, and she's probably like, I got this. I got the black vote.
But has anybody seen her?
She was at the AKA thing this weekend.
I didn't mean that as a joke. I've not seen her on any.
No, she was at the AKA.
Yeah, she showed up for the AKA's conference.
At the AKA, is it a boule or a conference?
Yeah,
whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever they conference.
She was at that thing this weekend.
They said, look, only way we're gonna do better is we can't wait on a handout for us to do better. We are doing better. I say that much. We are better than
things as a whole are better, Ron. I agree with you that they are better.
Can we get better? Yes. Do I think we're going in the path where we want to get better? I think we are heading in that path. I think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have to get left behind in order for us to get better.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Wow.
Hold on.
What he said.
What you said when you said it.
I mean,
is that the problem? Cuz, Al, Mama Noise, Ron, is that the problem?
I don't see that as a problem. Now, I agree with what he's saying, but I think the problem is, as a great man that we know so well, you, Ron, and myself, he used to hammer into us Kujichagulia.
Yeah.
Self-determination.
Yeah.
The community doesn't have enough self-determination. They want to be escorted, prodded, motivated, ushered. They don't have enough self-determination. They're not going to go out and learn how to cultivate 40 acres if the government should so desire to give it to them. So I agree with Ron. A lot of people going to have to be left behind, but I don't think that's the problem. That might be a end result, but I think the problem is we as a community don't want to take the initiative. Like, we don't want to learn how to go out and earn enough revenue, enough income to purchase.
If we could get 75% of the black community to think, act, and do better, would that be a win?
25% loss.
Wait till the right president.
Say it again, Al.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when I cut out.
No, we heard everything you said prior to just now.
Did we?
Unless you missed, we maybe missed the last minute. Then maybe.
No, the only thing I said was that a lot of people are gonna, unfortunately, the end result is a lot of people going to be left behind.
No, we heard everything. Yeah, we heard everything then. That's why I asked the 75% question. Because
I didn't hear that.
maybe
My
it's
internet was gone, so I didn't hear your question.
Okay, yeah. It's 75% of us doing and functioning better a win. In the economic understanding that we're talking about, in the political understanding that we're talking about, if we're 75% of us are functioning like that, is that the win? Is that a win? Is that even possible?
By math, that's a win.
I'll take it because where we at now, about 17% or less.
Well, that's a scary thing you just said, Al.
I'll take it as a win.
Now, would we like the number to be higher than that? Hell yeah. We would like
of course. Yeah, of course.
A win's a win.
But I'm going by what you just said.
You need 1 point to win.
But I'm going by what you just said. You said some folks gonna get left behind.
You're not gonna have progress without leaving some people behind.
So the girl that's still fighting for more McDonald's until she get her EBT card on the 17th are we leaving her behind?
I can't stand you.
Say it again.
No, I'm asking the question. Are we leaving her behind? Because she can't raise her level of thinking. Like what?
Not to sound insensitive, but if you don't change your way of thinking, you don't change your mindset, you don't take some sacrifices as part of being who you are, learn how to build, learn how to work together, you are going to get left behind.
Cuz, are you prepared to leave some folk behind?
He left us a long time ago. Shit, look at him. He had sleep now.
Cuz, they thought you was asleep.
I don't think we can afford to leave.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we can afford to leave 25% behind. We have to understand that our community is very centralized. The hood is very identifiable. So one of the problems we have as a community is so many of us that can afford to leave. Many of us that have education and can afford to, we choose to go elsewhere. And that leaves the community. So when you say that we're doing much better, I tend to disagree, because from sea to shining sea, from top to bottom, every Black community that you can name, maybe other than Atlanta, but that ain't really true either. Every Black community that you name, I guarantee you, it has gotten worse over the years.
Well, I never said we're doing much better. I said things are better.
Not in our community, though. Those of us that
I didn't say the community
will be doing better.
But I didn't say the communities. I said things are better.
That's us. Our community. If you take out the churches, you find it hard to find a decent building in our community. If you take out, well, I would change it. If you take out the churches and the government buildings, it's hard to find a decent building and structure in our communities.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You're 1,000% correct here, because we are in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, a city that has been ravaged with poverty due to the leaving of factories, critical factories that were pillars in this community. Yet, Kenyatta and I have driven around and seen several really nice churches in the Black community, really nice ones. I'm like, how are y'all doing this?
With family life centers.
How are y'all building these churches? Yet these the buildings all around the churches are boarded up and impoverished and barely standing. I don't know how y'all pulling this off.
That is not a localized issue.
And it's not right. It's not a localized issue, right? But that's why I said, that's why I never said the communities are doing better. I'm saying things are better. The opportunities for Black people to have better have presented themselves, and there are Black people that are thriving in today's society. The people on these screens are example of that. But now, as a community, I don't disagree with what you're saying. It's rough. It is rough.
Yeah, it is a grocery desert.
But when we talk about spending more, money in our community, that's what we're talking about. Those communities. But I don't believe money is the issue.
Oh,
because it doesn't matter how much you spend. Okay, you can shake your head all you want. I don't care how much you spend. If you can't correct the crime in the community, businesses would never thrive.
Facts.
Well, it's like you said earlier, it's the mindset.
See, cabbage and convicts.
But your community is what you're going to make your community out to be. Now, everybody in the community's got to have the same mindset that they want to grow, they want to build, they want this community to succeed. When everybody's not in that mindset, nobody's going to stay in that community.
A lot of businesses in the Black community fail for several reasons, but one of the reasons is, I'm just going to put our business out on Front Street. Too many of us that work for the businesses are too busy robbing the businesses behind the scene. That's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's hard to run a business in some of our communities because we are busy stealing out the back door.
Oh, okay.
Like that?
Huh?
Like you said, but because you asked the question, then
what you say, Mr. Noise?
That's how we stealing like that?
Oh shit.
But then you ask yourself, why you want to stay in that community then?
What? But
so
you
said
said
goes back to you're going to have some people that's going to get left behind unless they change that mindset.
But which one? Okay, one of y'all said you have to have the mindset that you want to help the community move forward. You want to build the community. I think it was I think it was wrong. But like for instance, in McKinney, Texas, they had a what?
It was a net. It just kind of
one of them Arkansas bugs jumped on.
Yeah, it was a net. I was like, "Whoa, bro, you look too close. Back up." Go ahead.
In the city of McKinney, they decided they wanted to build another football stadium. They wanted to restore their football stadium. So they asked the people of the community, and the people of the community said, "We don't mind if you raise our taxes to build that football stadium."
Well, I don't know if they didn't mind. I think they just kind of
they gave the thumbs up for them to do it.
Well, I think the majority dominated the minority, and it drugged the minority along.
The city before that one just finished, what was it, $60 million football stadium?
Yes.
So they wanted theirs to be bigger than the $60 million.
Where are you going with this, Mama Noise?
I'm saying that they had a meeting and said they don't mind having their taxes raised, and they all gave the green light to do it, and now they're doing it.
But I don't know if you can raise taxes in the Black community. This is annoying. I got to kill this thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know if you can raise taxes in the Black community like that. When we already ain't making no money. Now you're gonna raise the taxes and make it even less money?
Why would you raise taxes, Mama Noise? I'm trying to figure out the point too. Why would you raise the taxes?
Well, I'm saying that look how they were able to come together and say, you know what, we'll allow you to raise our taxes if that's what it takes in order to get what we want.
Yeah, but it's easy to raise taxes in a community where the average household salary is $80,000 to $120,000. That ain't no challenge. That's and they understand the benefit of what that is. They know that the raising of those taxes leads to better schools, better activities, less crime, blah, 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 blah. So they've already crafted an environment where those taxes can be raised. That is not the case in South Dallas, in Oak Cliff, in West Louisville, in Newburgh. That's not the case.
But
raising taxes in those communities is not going to make that community better.
But Mama Noise point isn't about not solely on the taxes itself. It's about the community came together with a mindset that they wanted something better. They understood the impact that if they did this, there is another impact by us doing this, by raising the taxes and using taxes as just a way to tell the story. Is we did this together. Now we're going to benefit from that. We're benefit because we got more business coming in. We got more people coming into the stadium. We got more revenue coming in that's hitting the community. We got more people coming into the community that's going to the local stores, spending money at the local stores, and helping out that community. That's kind of I think is where Mama Noise is going. It's not around the taxes.
Yes,
It's the common mindset of the process and understanding the benefits of that process.
And while I agree with what you're both saying, in that here's the other rubber meets the road moment. In order to get to that agreement, we all have to understand and agree of what the benefits are to the community.
Right.
And the problem with that is that as a whole, community-wise, we're kind of selfish individually. You know, one person wants this, one person wants this, one person wants this. So because we can't unify and see the bigger picture we can't see the macro to get to the micro, then we end up losing. Like it was the same thing with the West End Walmart. We could not see how bringing this Walmart was going to infuse this community with a lot of capital, a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities. So because we couldn't see that, and we were so, I don't want this raised over here, or I don't want all this traffic, or I'm gonna be able to steal out of it. So yeah, I definitely want the Walmart. Because we couldn't come together and see how to make it work. It didn't happen.
Which goes back to change the mindset.
Well, okay. Well, then what I want to know is for instance, because Jay brought up a good point when he talked about how if you just remove the government buildings and the churches, what's left of the community? Everything is abandoned, dilapidated, in certain in our communities.
Liquor stores.
But okay, and the liquor stores.
No, that's all that's left.
But I'm saying that, like for instance, in West Louisville, University of Louisville has been slowly but surely taking every open space to build some massive something for the University of Louisville. Like when they built that massive sports complex or whatever that's in Shawnee Park. I'm saying, what did they do for the community? Did we just say, oh, look, they finna build us a sports complex? Not that they're going to be able to really go to it, but, look what they built. Did we say, okay, look, if you going to build that, then you need to be able to do this for this community?
Well, Mama Noise, that phenomenon is also going on all over the country.
Oh,
where
really?
these HBCUs are buying up the dilapidated homes that are around them and putting structures on campuses. That's happening at just about every HBCU that I know of all around the country. So the good that they're doing is they're getting rid of the dilapidation. They are getting rid of the eyesores, because you cannot build. People that work for a living don't necessarily want to live around boarded up homes because we know what that means for that community. So they are improving the community. Now, what you want them to do beyond that, I don't know, because they really can't do anything else other than fix up what they own. They're not going to build houses for people. They're not going to fix the streets. That's the government's job.
Well, but they build these monstrosities in these areas. Like, in other words, you might have to cut through the hood to get here, but look what we built here. And you can't. I mean, back to what Tara said up there about the rims and the TVs and the weaves.
Listen, you can't stop that. And this is back to what co-pastor keeps saying. Until you change the mentality of people. People spend money on exterior things because they don't feel good about themselves on the interior. Because I don't feel good about who I am, I go out and I spend money in order to present myself as somebody, even though I know I ain't there. That's the only reason why you overextend yourself like that.
Man, if only there was a place people could go to help rebuild their personal morality and self-esteem, and there's nowhere to go for that.
What the hell are you talking about? I done said it 999 times, man. Black men, take your asses back home. You didn't think I was gonna come back to that?
Walmart's always open, Lloyd.
Oh, nigga, we knew you was coming back to that.
Black men, take your black asses back home if we want to solve that problem. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
But they go home every night.
Wow.
But they're not home with their kids that they got.
See, you just said black men go home. You didn't specify.
That's what I'm talking about. Raise your kids. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, cousin Black Men Go Home and Raise Your Kids campaign. It's really fascinating campaign. It really is. Because it comes devoid of strategy related to after you like first of all, are these black men gonna all raise their black kids the same way so they carry the same moral compass and moral philosophy? And we all are believing the same thing so we can build these communities the same way? Or are some black men going to tell the black men that they're the prize and the black girls ain't shit and all that stuff? I mean, what exactly are we giving in philosophy in this black men go home and raise your kids thing? Or is it just enough that they went home to raise them?
Well, that's a good attempt on your part to
Quit throwing pussy on the floor, man.
Spit it out, man.
Move the needle from where it should be. Listen, the strategy is. Here's the strategy.
Here it goes.
Once you well, shit. I guess you don't want to hear the strategy.
I want to hear it. Let's go.
Here's the strategy. Once you bust a nut, you take care of that seed. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect as parents. So I don't have some silver bullet on how perfect of a father you gonna be versus what I am versus what Ron is. I don't have those answers. The answer is bust a nut, take care of your seed.
Impregnated a seed, you take care of your seed. Just because you bust a nut, you ain't taking care of other people's seeds.
It's so simple in cousin world.
Well, Mr. Lewis,
it's raise your kids, man.
We have to simplify because as long as we pretend that it's so complicated, niggas go find excuses on why not to do
it. It's not hard to raise your kid. You got to want to raise your kid.
That's a campaign slogan. Bust a nut, raise your kid.
but think about it. It's not hard to raise your kid. You just have to want to do it.
Not complicated.
It's sacrifice. It's gonna cause you pain. It's gonna cause you heartache.
What's your cash out, man?
There's gonna be days. There's gonna be days that you're gonna want to say my favorite saying, "Fuck them kids," but I still raise them every day.
I mean, I know.
I'm mute out.
I know. I said myself about my own child. I said, "Fuck her twice today."
I said it all.
You saying that about the love, Jasmine? Go ahead.
I've not got there, and I'm almost done with mine. So, I don't understand any man that would be blessed with offspring and not enjoy every opportunity you have with them. My kids, stubborn as mules, they get it from their mama and their daddy, but they are still the best part of me.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't understand any man that would have children walking the face of this earth and not have anything to do with it. I don't understand it.
Exactly.
So that brings us back to the left behind philosophy. Some of these ninjas we're gonna have to leave behind. I know you don't like it, cuz, and I feel you on that. I understand what you're saying, but we may have to take an in spite of mentality towards all of this. We gonna do this in spite of. If 4 out of 5 black men, 4 out of 5 black men are raising their kids, damn it, we just got to pick up a slap of this fifth nigga.
I'll give you an example on why I don't have an issue and why I fully understand that some of these Negroes is going to have to be left behind. And I don't have an issue with it. When you have millionaires running dope from state to state,
yeah,
small time dope, like 3 pounds, millionaires, they ignorant.
Right.
So them ignorant MFers need to be left behind.
Right. Can't fight for them.
Can't fight for them. I'm even simpler. You leave your kids and you can't take your kids. If you're willing to abandon them, why should we keep you?
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for me to care about your situation, but for the dude that is fighting every day for his, I got his back. And maybe that's the way we're gonna have to do it, man.
And listen, I don't know if you guys live in these cities or not. I travel a lot, so I go from city to city around the country. And in some parts of the country, a lot of good cemetery too. Niggas and flies. In some parts of the country, marijuana is now legal.
Yes.
Y'all mark my words as I look here on this here device now. That ain't good for our community. Because as I ride around the country, whether it was Brooklyn, New York, or where else was I? San Francisco, all the other places I've been. Used to be people would smoke their weed in the privacy of their home in their own gatherings. These niggas are sitting on the corners, broad open daylight, smoking that shit. That ain't good for our community. I ain't talking about no 1 or 2 of them either. I'm talking about they feel like there's power in numbers.
Because I live in a state where marijuana is not legal, and we have the same issue. When I pull up to a bus stop and there's 5 or 6 young people standing in a plume of marijuana smoke and don't give a rat's tahootie about who's driving by, we in a bad state. We're in a bad situation.
True.
Oh, yeah. And it's only going to get worse once they legalize it in your state. Because then they come out the woodwork.
These kids are going to school like zombies. What could they possibly be learning?
I don't disagree with any of that because we see it every day, and it's not neighborhood specific. Like it could be the richest neighborhood, it could be the poorest neighborhood. They just
hold on. I ain't seen nobody in the rich neighborhood hanging out on the corner smoking no weed. It's primarily in the hoods of society.
No, they smoking weed everywhere.
No. I never said they don't smoke weed everywhere. I said they're hanging out on no damn corner.
Well,
that's because it's against the homeowners.
They're hanging out on their version of the corner. It ain't the same. It don't look exactly the same. No, I hear what you're saying. I agree. I'm saying it's not. It doesn't look the same. But this is where we are. Niggas are smoking weed now, in every form that they can possibly smoke.
They've always smoked it.
Right.
That's why they wanted to legalize, because people have always smoked weed.
Right.
Making it illegal wasn't going to stop them from smoking. But when you're smoking in broad open daylight, listen, man, this is God honest truth. I think I might have told this story. I'm not sure. In Detroit, Michigan, I went into the gas station, buy some water. The man behind the counter. Now, obviously, he was, they got them bulletproof things up there in Detroit. They don't supposed to be breaking in and killing folks. But the man behind the counter working the cash register had a blunt yay big. Blowing smoke while working the cash register, taking your money. I came out of the store, and I don't smoke weed.
Smelling like weed.
And got back in the car with my daughter sitting beside me, my brother and his wife in front of me, and they said, "Man, you smell like," man. I say that joker up in there was smoking it.
Blame it on that joker.
We're all going to be affected by it.
He said it wasn't me.
I believe it was Ron and Lloyd. I showed a picture of a group of employees standing outside of their place of business, fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna say the name, but it's the one that the ice cream machine never worked. In broad daylight, smoking a joint, passing it around. Meanwhile, we 10 deep in the drive-thru because they don't have enough employees to open up the dining room.
But like you said, it's. I think Sean's statement. Our people are so influenced. We would spend the time. We will break our damn necks to sit out in minus 20-degree weather to smoke a joint at your job, but you won't take your ass to go pick your kid up in that same 20-degree weather. Where's your priority?
Is it a smoke issue or is it a self-respect and value issue? Yes.
All the above.
Yes, the answer is yes. We I heard Steve Harvey say this, and he was talking to Jerry Seinfeld, and he said every comedian I know that smoked weed is broke. And what he was simply saying is that though, and I don't know if that's true.
It's not. Because cat got money.
Right. I don't know if that's true. But I think what he was simply trying to say is that the willingness to self-medicate with drugs has greatly hindered the majority of his comedian brothers and sisters. And that part probably is true.
Absolutely.
Cat has cost himself probably millions of dollars because he can't kick his drug habit. Millions of dollars. And I think that, and we know athletes that have cost themselves millions of dollars because they can't.
Ricky Williams.
Right. Ricky Williams. Josh Gordon has cost himself millions of dollars because he can't. One of the most talented receivers that ever touched an NFL field. Can't get on the field because he can't stop smoking weed. So I understand what he's saying, and I understand what we're saying here. It is a massive problem of both functionality of the weed smoking, but also morality of the choice. But also, there is something in the pain that we're not addressing, because there is this willingness to this desire to self-medicate, because people typically smoke weed to detach from their reality. Matter of fact, I would dare say a lot of people that smoke weed in the Black community are doing so to deal with anxiety, to deal with depression, to deal with self-esteem issues, to self-medicate in the cheapest form that they feel they can do so.
100% correct.
Got it.
I could not agree more. And it's like you said, it's a combination of both. They are self-medicating. They don't want to face reality, but they don't give a damn about what other people think. They don't give a damn about inconveniencing you with the smell of their smoke.
Horrible.
Because you don't have to live, because you don't have to live with the pain of that cashier. He does. So if I got to inconvenience you just a little bit, and you got to go to your car smoking weed, but I get to sleep at night and finish this shift, then so be it.
We're going to have to go back to the drawing board, because we ain't going to be able to allow this shit to continue. we don't allow cigarette smokes near the front door of buildings.
That's true.
Because I was going to ask that question. How is this different than cigarettes? It's the same thing. Tobacco at one point.
Believe me, that weed smoke is a lot stronger.
It's a lot stronger, but tobacco at one point was illegal. They legalized it.
Yeah.
Tobacco became a huge industry, billions of dollar industry. So how's this different?
It's not. It's going to be the same thing as prohibition with alcohol, tobacco, and it's going to be the same thing with low-level narcotics. It's not going to stop at marijuana.
No. Let's address Pastor Corey's question. He said, "What makes you men different?"
Different than the dope smoker, or different than the what? What is he talking about?
I think he's talking about all of it. Like those. I'm assuming he's talking about all of it. I'm not gonna. I don't want to answer for Pastor Corey because maybe he's Pastor Corey. If you could clarify the question a little bit for us, just to make sure we have a clarity before we answer.
You know what's peculiar while we're waiting is that we know that Big Brother's always listening to our conversations. All of a sudden, my news feed from the Atlanta Black Star newspaper says that Teddy Riley has been denied access to his youngest son for 3 years. And he's like, he don't understand. He's done everything legally. He's done everything financially, but it falls on the mother.
What do you mean denied access? I don't understand what that means. What
Denied
do you mean?
access. He
said, can't see him at all.
He says he's done everything financially and everything. He said, but this woman has a process in an evil way, and he said he has to deal with the corrupted government of the Atlanta system, and they won't just let him see his son, and so he don't understand why a father just can't be a father to their children. And this is Teddy Riley. So you would say, man, he's got money's not the problem. So, but he's like, I don't get the option to see my son. So we just happen to be talking about black fathers.
Those are bad situations, And if he's done everything that he could, I mean, and nobody's helping him, that is pretty bad. And if she's that vindictive for whatever reason.
Yeah, I hear you, Sora, talking about the attorneys and ATL favors the black man, but apparently not this black man.
And I would say this. If you know the ninja you sleeping with,
listen,
is crazy as hell, then you better figure out a way to do right so that you don't lose visitation rights with your. I'm just saying that's one of those sacrifices that Ron was talking about. If you know your wife is going to take the kids and be a total asshole, then don't go there.
We're back to the condom conversation again, aren't we?
Because once you go there, then hell, now you got to play victim because you fucked up. I'm sorry, y'all forgive my language.
We
no problem, buddy.
Damn. We assume he messed up. It could have been her. Could have been her.
The hell.
Pastor Corey clarified his question. He said, "What caused you men to be different from the irresponsible, dope-selling, weed-smoking ninjas that are bringing our communities down?" And by the way, that is the closest Pastor Corey has ever come.
Yay!
Shout out to Pastor Corey.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You on mute out.
You mute out.
I can give you the simplest answer for me.
Yeah.
Because I have a strong faith and belief and understanding that ultimately I am going to be held accountable for these two. I also understand that they are not truly mine. I've been given stewardship over them. I understand that they are a gift from God They belong to God. It is my responsibility that they understand whose they are. So, and I don't want to have to answer for that, because in my 52 years, soon to be 52 years, I've done enough that I'm going to have to answer for. And so I don't want to have to answer for failing these two individuals.
Right.
That's what makes me different.
Mm-hmm.
My one simple answer, and this is not for everybody, but my one simple answer is my foundation. That's all it was. That foundation made it easy for me. Now, I had choices. I could have chose left versus right, but it made it easier for me. And I struggled. I'm kind of glad you asked that question, because I struggled. And I'm sure some of the guys on here do too, if not all of us. I'm struggling on why can't niggas do right?
Oh, yeah.
I really do struggle with that. What's the problem? You know how wrong affected your life, and you still can't figure out what to do for somebody else's life? You still struggling? I don't get that. That bothers me.
It's harder than you think.
It's harder than you think?
It's harder than you think. When and I guess where everybody's telling the truth. Everything Pastor Core said on there, I was that person. What made me change? I grew up. I realized this stuff ain't for me. I got a responsibility to the people I'm bringing up. These are my offsprings. I have to do right to make sure they're well protected. They learn the stuff they need to learn. I cannot let them leave this world and not be educated in what they got to do. That was my responsibility. Nobody else's responsibility. It wasn't my mother, wasn't my grandmother, wasn't my uncles or my cousins. Damn it, that was mine.
I almost start seeing John P. Key. It's me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's what it was.
Say that.
That's what made me do it, because it was my responsibility.
Okay, so now that's easy to say, but I think that's a much much more difficult road to hold than the way I came up, or maybe the way Mr. Noiz and Al B came up, because though we may have been exposed to some things, the foundation was so solid that we chose not to go that route.
Right.
But you're saying that you experienced more of it and then grew up and decided that wasn't the way that you wanted to go.
Yeah. I think for me, the first time I looked in that room and saw that responsibility, like Al was talking about, laying in his bed, and knew that that God had said, I need you to bring this vision that I have for this life to fruition. I need you to help in the way that I need you to help. I just knew I couldn't fail. Like you all have said, I'll be honest with you. And we tease Cuz a lot about fathers going home, but we all agree that fathers need to go and raise their damn kids. But I'll even take it a step further. And this is going to sound harsh. I'm actually probably the most harsh critic on here, if real truth being told here today, because I really don't have a lot of respect for men that don't raise their kids. You can't hang in my circle if you don't. I don't really have a lot of respect for you. And now, if you say, well, you like, I don't even understand Teddy Riley going to the newspaper saying, well, she won't let me. I'd be camped out at her door every day. I think we got to figure something out. I'm gonna raise my son.
Not her door. I'd be camped out at the court
door somewhere, but I'm gonna raise my son though. I don't understand that. I don't get that whole concept.
But see, that's what we as men need to start judging each other by, versus how well you can bounce a basketball, or how fast you can run, or how much money you have and how influential you are. We need to start judging each other by whether or not you're taking care of those that you have a responsibility to. Because if you ain't doing that, all that other shit don't matter. You still raising broken ass kids.
Let me tell you something.
Don't mean shit.
Where I grew the greatest respect for LeBron James had nothing to do with what he was doing on the basketball court.
Right. I agree with you.
He's just another nigga winning championships. I get it. But where my true respect comes from him, and maybe, hopefully he won't blow this. I don't think he will. It feels like he won't. But my greatest respect for him is that he is a involved black father. That man is trying to raise his kids. He's trying to help them find the path that they're supposed to be on. Now, two of them, he wanted to be on the path of basketball. I get it. And they have talent, so maybe they'll get on that path. But even if they don't get on that path, he's going to be engaged in their life to such a way that he's going to help them find whatever the path is.
I was gonna ask that question because I know individuals who have multiple kids, males. They have nothing to do with those that aren't actively involved in some sort of sport, basketball, baseball, football. And I think that's appalling.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. Because your job ain't to raise an athlete. Your job is to raise a child.
Your job is to raise a man.
Right, a man or a woman, right.
Or a woman.
That's your job. So whatever path or purpose that they're designed to fulfill, that's your job. Help them find that path. I'm gonna tell you something else. Boy, we in here tonight, boy. We in here deep.
Well, before you hit that.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Because I was gonna hit it.
Raising it doesn't stop when they become an adult.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people forget that. My oldest son is 27. My daughter's 24. Still raising them to this day. And I'm going to keep raising them to the day I die.
Don't stop.
Just because they over the age of 18.
Man, let me tell you something. Today, my first phone call or my first conversation when I start pivoting in certain directions and I'm wondering if I'm going in the right direction, is to that 98-year-old woman that's in the other room right now. I go, that woman done lived 98. She done figured out how to live on this earth for 98 years. I'd be a fool not to partake in that wisdom. Come on now. It's a different form of raising now, but it's still influence, wisdom, information. She helping me avoid the pitfalls and the come on, man. I just don't understand people that don't want it, that can see a child that you had a hand in being a part of and not want to be actively involved in that child's life for the rest of your life. I don't understand that. I don't. My mind doesn't compute that. I don't get it. And I don't have a whole lot of respect for people like that.
And to answer Tim's, said your road changed when they are adults. From Tim, your road do change. But you're always going to be the coach.
Yeah, I think it moves. I think it moves, and I'm not trying to define your.
Lost you again.
Lost him.
Yeah. He in the middle of he's making a great point right now. We can't hear it.
Yeah, your role should always change as they get older and involved.
It moves from a point of raising them. Okay, I think it moves from a point of raising them to a point of supporting them, encouragement, and so on and so forth. Because I'm almost done raising Jeremiah. But I'll never stop supporting him, encouraging him. Nourishing him, whatever the case may be. I'll never stop that.
And Sean, yes, absolutely. Every single one.
Until the day my mother passed, she never stopped teaching.
Yeah.
And bugging me about certain things. I would call Mama and say, Mama, I got this and I'm doing this and I'm going here. And she said, son, but are you saving your money? I wanted to cuss that woman out so many times. Damn it, I'm saving my money. But she would always come back to what really mattered. Save your money. Are you going to church? Are you doing right by your wife? She would always ask me those questions. So that's the coach. That was the coach of her until the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe raise is the wrong, but to me, it's always raising. It's just my term. But like I said,
I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah.
nurse, but you always gonna be a coach to your kids.
Right.
Always.
That's it, Ron. You're always a coach.
Right.
You know, but as you get better, I got them that time, y'all. But as you get better in the game, as your kid gets better in the game, and they start to understand how to play the game better, you don't have to coach as hard, right? You're not yelling from the sidelines like you were when they were first learning how to play. Now you kind of sitting back and you said, okay, and then on a timeout you might say, hey, that was a good thing you just did there, or man, you might want to look at that. Be careful with that one. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're doing now, Al, you're not yelling at Jeremiah as much as you probably had to do when he was younger. Now it's more like, hey man, son, that was good, but think about this. Just consider this on the next time you go out there and play. You know, it's a different kind of coaching.
I would like to answer. No, Jay's going to say something.
Well, just let me get it out right quick, because I'm gonna forget. Just because you know, I do believe in speaking things as though they were, and hoping that they come to pass. You know, speaking into existence. I believe in that. I've kind of lived my life like that, but I do believe that you can also do a disservice to yourself by lying. Tim say black men are great parents. See, that's my problem with us. We're so offended by the idea that some of us ain't doing what we're supposed to be doing, that we want to say, no. Black men are great dads. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue that. I don't know what circle he moves in. I just will say this. If his statement is true, I want to move in that circle, because the circle I move in, I know a lot of black men that ain't shit.
And again, I agree with Tim. I agree with Al, because my circle, I have great men in my circle, great black men that are great parents, and I have some people in my circle that ain't shit. But I do say there are great black men that are parents, because I'm looking at 3 of them right now.
And when I say circle, I don't mean we run together, we hang out. I'm just saying people that I'm acquainted with.
Friends of friends,
associates of friends, right? We know them. Yeah. All right, Mama Noise, you said you wanted to answer Pastor Core's question.
Yeah, I apologize, Mama Noise.
Oh, no, all is well. I just wanted to answer the question. Pastor Core says, what is so appealing to women about gangster ninjas and their pants sagging and foul language and no legal future prospects?
And for those who are wondering, he meant nigga, but he's not allowed to say that.
Nobody's wondering that.
No, some people may have wondered. They may not know it. They not be familiar with ninja.
And what he meant by foul language is those that say shit, hell, damn, and all that old stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. Go ahead, Mama.
You need an example.
That would be me.
Go ahead, Mama.
I believe that a lot of women have low self-esteem. And the low self-esteem, I will say from my perspective, when I didn't know who I was, then that low self-esteem, and I mean, we're trying to help somebody now that doesn't understand that when you have low self-esteem, you figure that the situation you're in or the guys that's attracted to you, you thinking that's the best you're going to get, that you can't get any better than that. And you saying, well, you know, at least he trying. Okay. That, and when you don't have self-esteem, you feel like, okay, well, if he's trying, then, you know, that's all I need to know is that he's trying.
Mom knows you preaching right now.
You need to know your value and realize that you do deserve a guy that goes to work every day. You do deserve a guy that's trying to pursue a better life, that wants to treat you like you deserve to be treated. You do deserve that. But when your self-esteem is low, then you will feel like that I just have to tolerate the stuff that you know you shouldn't be tolerating. You'll take all the verbal abuse, you'll take, and dare I say, sadly, some will even take the physical abuse because they don't understand their value or they think this is the best I can get. I used to be, when I was in high school, like I was saying, man, why does it seem like I keep attracting? You're like, okay, how come I can't attract the dude that's trying to go to college or trying to better himself. Why I keep attracting, I want to ride or die. Why do I keep attracting those? Well, I think I probably attracted those because that's how much I thought of myself. Because if I really valued myself, and then they wouldn't even step to me because they'd have been like, "Oh, I know you ain't even trying to hear it." That's right.
Oh, they still gonna try, Mama Noise. Don't.
No, but I'm saying sometimes you just like if you see a woman who knows her worth and has understands her value, you can come up and trying to talk to smoke if you want to, but she's trying, bruh, don't even waste your time.
I believe what you say is so true, Mama Noise. And if I can, I'm going to merge what you said with what Cuz said, because I know a young lady, beautiful young lady, just turned recently 40 or so, mother of 3 kids. One she's about to send off to a prestigious college here in the state of Kentucky. She's a homeowner. And when I say attractive, she's no less than an 8.5.
Hush your mouth.
I mean, she's a beautiful young woman. But if you see her Facebook post, you understand why she's in the situation she's in, because she's more concerned. She wants a man to make her walk bow-legged. So, and the reason why I say I'm going to combine what Mama Noise and what Cuz said, because you said you speak things into existence. Well, if that's what you asking for, and that's all you require from a man, is someone that's going to make you walk bow-legged, well, then that explains your situation.
That explains your situation. Wow.
All right, so I want to piggyback on what you just said, and with what Mama Noise was saying. Mama Noise say women deserve to be treated a certain way. I contend to you, Mama Noise, that men have been trained to do that. What I actually believe a woman deserves is to know that she's the only one that's being treated. See, because men will wine and dine you long enough to get what he wants, but he got something else over here already. But because you want to be wined and dined and treated a certain way, you will fall for the treatment. A lot of women that fall in love with married men because he was treating her special on the side, but she was never the only one. Women deserve to be the only one.
That's a campaign right there.
Okay, so now I'm gonna piggyback on what Mama Noise said, what Al said, and what Cuz said. Because I literally just had a conversation today with somebone who knows they're in a bad situation, who knows that the situation is not something. This dude is not who he's. Because they were like, "Well, you don't understand the circumstances. You don't understand everything I'm going through. You don't understand we've been through." I said, "Yeah, but you understand. I don't have to understand. You understand. You have lived it. You have experienced it. So answer these questions for me. Do you see a future? Well, no. Do you think this is the one? No. Then there's really nothing else to talk about. You have to value yourself enough and understand.
It's hard to do when you feel like you don't have a lot of other options. That's really hard to do.
It is, because it's only hard because we don't like to go through pain.
Well,
but there's no hold on. And I get that, but there's no other way to get stronger. Every coach in America will tell you the only way to go get stronger is to lift the weight off you. You gotta lift the weight.
I agree.
And it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna feel it.
That's the only
way to get stronger.
I saw a reel, it may have been yesterday or the day before, and it simply said, if you look at a woman and you don't feel a special kind of way, then keep moving. Because what you're going to do, you're going to make her miss her destiny. So don't just be, in somebody else's space. If you look at a woman and you don't feel a special kind of way, keep moving.
What you say?
You ain't it, bro, and that's okay.
But wouldn't it be the same for so everybody's picking back, and so it would be the same for the woman.
Absolutely.
If you're constantly picking the same ninja every time and expecting a different result, you have a problem.
Amen.
But Ron, I agree with that, but I think it takes a man has to show himself trustworthy, and that takes time.
Don't disagree. But
and generally speaking, we horny. We horny, man. We horny.
It's nothing to do with horny. If you pick 15 dudes, all 15 where they're paying sagging, and 13 or 15 so far didn't work out, why would you pick 14 and 15?
Because you don't understand your value. You think that all you can attract is that type of man. I'm telling you from experience. I kept saying, man, I want a guy who got his own car. Not trying to figure out, do I got a car? A guy that stands on his own 2 feet. Not trying to figure out what time do I get off work? What day do I get paid?
The fifth guy that you picked still didn't have a car. When you picked the sixth guy, what's the one requirement that you would have had?
You got to be willing to hold out for what you want.
And okay, let me go there just a second. Cause see, now I'm saying, like when I talked to you guys on Uncorked Wine that night, I didn't have my dad in my life to help me, guide me as to what the expectation should be. Right. I'm thinking he liked me. He cute.
Yeah,
he want to talk to me. He want me to be his girl. I'm saying this is without knowing your value, not understanding, as you said, the pick a ninja meter and all that type of stuff. It has to be, you got to get it from somewhere. Somebody's got to be able to tell you, okay, what you don't want to do is, I mean, y'all was blowing my mind just the other night. And
but Mama Noise, here's the other side of what you're saying. And I'm going to be perfectly blunt about it. Again, to get to the man that we're talking about, the one Cuz is talking about and the one Ron is talking about, it is not an easy process because he got to prove himself and she got to be patient enough to let him do it. So that might be painful. Guess what? Your loins might burn. You might have to rub that thing out until he proves himself. Whatever you got to do to wait that situation out so that you can find out, is this somebody that's really, truly here for you? And on the flip side of that, man, you got to step up and prove yourself that she understands that you're there for that.
That's easier said than done because
it is.
Hold on, us ninjas, we know their pain. We know what they want. We know how to say it.
I understand that.
We know how to present it. It's easy. Listen, man, we all know it is easy as hell. I almost said a different cuss word, but I cleaned it up because Pastor Cord is on.
He is on. He's the official pastor. He's the official pastor of Noise Media, and he's used ninja all night long.
at least 9 times in the comments.
At least 9 times. He's trying.
We know how to take advantage of their brokenness. We do it all the time.
I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying to both sides is, ladies, you have to understand that part of it and hold out.
How long?
I know it ain't easy,
man. How long?
Until your change comes.
Hey.
I mean, you got to
Lord help me to hold out.
Help me to hold out.
Yeah.
You
the
got
problem is there is no magic number.
No, there isn't. But
I can wait for 6 months and he can still be a dog because he waited me out.
Listen, it's not we're not talking about a strategy that is foolproof. But what we are saying is it is more likely that a ninja is going to do the right thing if you make him do the right thing than if you don't. If you just give it up the first week, if you give it up the first day, if you just busting it down because you think that's going to make your options better, you probably going to take a L.
7 whole days. That's all it took me. 7 whole days.
Okay, but but
I
that's
think
different.
I think we keep jumping back to the whole sex thing, and it's more.
Yeah, I don't think the sex thing is the only thing, though.
Yeah, it's
But
way
that's
more.
that's part of what's
way,
destroying our community. All these
It is, but it's also
condoms
what
not
Mama
wearing
Noise
condoms
said.
is destroying your
It's the
neighborhood.
self-esteem thing. It's you not knowing who you are because you might bust it down and you got low self-esteem and it could work in 7 days. It could, but it also could not work in 3 years.
Exactly. So there's no magic number.
But it's not about the number. It's not about the number. It's about you understanding that I am worth it. The love, the respect, the being treated right. And so whatever it takes to make sure that we can solidify that, whether that's 7 days or whether that's a year.
But then also as a woman, we feel like that sometimes we trying to hold out, we trying to wait and stuff. You think you got the good guy, and then you feel like, man, the pressure is on. He might leave. He might be like, well, I ain't got time to wait. You might lose out on that opportunity.
Then goodbye.
But you need to know that you're worth the wait, and if he don't want to wait, then he ain't for you.
Then goodbye.
But if you're not taught differently, then you assume, oh, well, then I need to comply because I do want to be in this relationship, and I with all these other women you could choose, I don't want that to be the one thing that you say, well, then this relationship won't work.
Because here's the other side. If I make you wait 7 days and then give it up to you, but I still demand that you treat me like a lady and I treat me with respect and treat me with thing, then that still, to me, that says, okay, I'm still living by the standard. Oh, we got the feedback. What happened? Okay, I think it's gone. I still hold you to a standard of how I want to be treated. I'm saying hold out, but if you can't hold out, still hold the banner of the standard.
Yeah, I think sex is the least of the problem. I think it's knowing your standards.
Well, I don't think it's the least of the problem. I don't think that. I think it's just.
I think you have to understand how to treat yourself before you can determine how you want somebody to treat you.
That's good.
I like that. I like that statement, Ron, and it makes all the sense
Right.
in the world. But I don't think it's as real as it should be in society. I think there are a lot of women out there that have respect for themselves. And that's in large part why so many of our black women are still single.
That's why we can't let Tim get away with that statement he made earlier about what did he say? If you're a hoe, then we need to treat you like a hoe. That's not true.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's not true, bro. I can't let you slide with that one. That's way off on that.
And because I agree, that's why a lot of black women are staying single, because they have that respect for themselves, and that is exactly what you want. You want to have that respect.
You don't want to be single, though, Ron.
The numbers state you're going to be single. Just get away from her. There's now a 1-for-1 woman to man ratio on this earth, so it's not going to happen. But you gotta have the respect. 6
sisters are going without,
at least.
Based on the numbers.
That shit ain't funny.
I'm not laughing.
Well, start having more kids. Start having more kids, damn it, and have some more boys, and then we can catch up.
You know how many good women will never get married?
A lot.
Unfortunately,
if there's 6 women to every one guy, the number's going to state it. But it doesn't mean you change your standard because you're never going to get married. It don't mean you're going to change your standard because you're never going to find that one guy you have. You still need to keep your standards high. You still need to keep your reality high. I
know we did this dumb game before, and we don't have to do it right now, but we were saying there's 6 women to one guy, but that's accounting for the prison population, the gay population, the broke population, the whole population.
Oh, when you do it like that, the number changes dramatically. Now it's like 14 to 1.
The number is actually probably closer. I mean, it's probably, I think last time we looked at it, if you include everybody, even the niggas in jail, it's like 3 to 1.
Oh, it's higher than that, Ron. 3 to 1?
It's like 3 to 1 last time we looked at it.
So it's like the dating game. 2 of you niggas just going home without a man.
But and think about it. There's dudes that's never going to get married either. There's good guys out there that's never going to find a chick.
That explains why there's so many new shows out about sister wives.
There it is.
There you go.
I did see a editorial from a black woman saying some of you women gonna have to stop being selfish, and y'all gonna have to share.
That
was a real. It wasn't. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't an editorial. It was a video.
and you decided you needed to hear her broadcast.
He said some of y'all gonna have to share. Y'all being selfish.
That shit ain't funny either.
That ain't funny.
It actually not really is.
It's kind of funny,
but it's
No,
funny
it
in a
wasn't.
different. It's funny
No,
in a
it
different
wasn't.
way. It's
Because
funny in
you
a different-
remembered it enough to be able to discuss.
Because it was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what she mean by share because I don't have that kind of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tapping out after one. I don't know. That's a fascinating conversation. It really is. But we always have fascinating conversations here. We're good for that. I appreciate y'all, man. This is good. This is good stuff. Shout out to Pastor Corey, who did not cuss one time tonight. I mean, that's why he is the official pastor of Noise Media and Entertainment.
Pastor Gore, don't be co-signing none of this foolishness.
What did he say? What did he say? What did Pastor Corey say? They are becoming popular. He ain't co-signing. He's just telling the truth.
Well, just because stuff is popular, don't need to mean you need to participate.
Sisters are like, I'll just share. Sisters are like, I only need them on Tuesdays and Thursdays anyway.
Nope.
I'm going to the club on the weekend, so it don't even matter.
You know what, Lloyd?
It's true, Kieta. I ain't saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Well, you sure got a whole lot of information.
It ain't hard to find, Kieta.
You ain't have to listen to her broadcast.
I didn't. It came up in the TikTok.
Yeah,
Woo! You know what? Your jealousy don't look good on you.
You ever talking about it?
It don't look good on you.
Yeah.
It don't look good on you, Kieta.
You know what? Where's the man show saying y'all brothers got all these good women? Y'all gonna have to share.
Because there's too many women to go around.
Yeah. Now it's that, right?
It's 7-1. I said it was 7-1.
Well, but you didn't say he right.
He ain't right.
Now
I ain't saying it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. The numbers are different. It says 88 men to every 100 black women, and then white is 97 to 100. So it's like 12 to 1.
That's what I said, Ron. I thought it was 12 to 1.
Oh my
God, bro.
I had to go dig deep like Al would typically do. I had to go check the numbers.
There's some sisters out here that's gonna come up short.
Oh my gosh.
That's unfortunate. Well, they're coming up short for many reasons, though. Not just if you talk about black people, they're gonna come up real short. But if they start, that's why some of these sisters was like, I'll just take a white man on Asian. Because you know
your odds are better. Your odds are
better. You gotta shrink that number down.
They're gonna diversify their portfolio.
Maybe they not trying to say, you broken, or you got so much drama, and why are you talking so loud, and why are you being? They just like
they are saying it, but they're just not saying it that way. Like white men will probably say, like, listen, Cassandra, we seem to have a gap in our communication, and your form of communication is a little more exuberant than mine. And if we could just find a happy medium where we can communicate together effectively, he's really calling you loud, but he's trying to do it in a really nice way. Why is that a button thing?
Because you're
That was racist.
How's that racist?
Because your white voice was horrible.
Hey boy,
I wasn't looking for perfection in that. I was just trying to get you where you need to be conceptually.
That white voice boy was.
I was trying to get you where you need to be conceptually. That's all. I was looking for the concept.
No.
More so than the accuracy.
So if we know that the numbers are bad for our women, this is back to Mr. Tim. If we know that the numbers are bad for our women, don't we owe them to be the best men that we could be? Don't more of us owe them? Instead of walking around here talking about, girl, I'm put
See,
your damn hand down.
He gets something. I don't know what button.
I don't really know what to give him for that. Yeah, that's probably. That was good.
I'm just talking a strict numbers game. That affects our numbers.
Yeah.
Along with a whole bunch of other shit that's affecting our black women. And then we want to sit around here and call them hoes and call them names. And
well, I don't call them. I call them experience. That's trial and error.
Oh my gosh.
Experience?
That's experience, man. It's practice. It's practice. What did Iverson say?
No, some are practicing more than others. Would you
See,
say?
and Lloyd up there trying to do his best, you know.
I didn't want to go full Wahite. I was trying to not be racist.
That's not how Wahite men talk to black women.
Yes, they do.
No, they do.
They do. I've heard them.
No, I've experienced it. I'm just telling you.
They do talk to. Now you was with a white dude who had some hood in him
in high school, and no.
Well, he was like a John B type nigga.
No, he was. No, he wasn't. He's like, and I was like, okay, you said we was going to McDonald's. I said you said you was going to McDonald's, and it's like, Bambi, I know, I'm so sorry. Let me talk you down, and let's talk about it. Let's become relaxing. My black men be like,
you don't want to have a.
Hey, I know what I said.
You don't want to have a coup d'etat here. We're gonna temperature down a little bit there.
Mama was gonna get Billy's ass whooped for no reason. Billy ain't did shit to nobody, but Billy about to get his ass whooped for nothing.
Billy whooped.
Billy's like, Bambi, I understand how you feel. Let's talk about this. Let's discuss it.
The same part, Mama Noise, the black dude that talks like that gets no play.
The one that talks calmly
gets no play. Absolutely no play.
I got plenty play.
I was going to say Lloyd got plenty play,
but you didn't talk like that.
I ain't talk like that.
Yeah, because you didn't talk like that.
Talk like what? Say it again.
You didn't have a white voice.
You got a Carl from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air voice he was using.
Who, me?
No, she was using.
What?
Cuz trying to say he got plenty of play. He wasn't talking like that.
Cuz was using the code switch. Opal, I just want to talk to you for a few minutes. Let's calm down and let's discuss what you really mean.
And she was like, "Bumble clutchers, blah blah blah."
No, my wife say raw.
Was that racist? How was that racist?
Just because you Puerto Jamaican, your accent still sucks.
Oh my gosh.
Do the best I can with working with the people.
If Mama Noise get the accent button, you get the button too.
Y'all rough tonight, boy. This is rough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, we gotta go. It's been beautiful. What are we doing tomorrow? Wednesday, the 5.
The 5.
So come check out the 5. It's a man. Sports shows in the summer are hard. They are really challenging, but we do have a decent show, I think, set up. It took us a second to put it together. I ain't gonna lie to you, but we do got one that we're gonna talk about tomorrow. So come check us out. It should be pretty good. You should enjoy it. And then we'll be back on Thursday and Friday, doing our thing right here on this here platform. Yeah.
Vacation next week.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what to do, man. I hope you got some sunscreen.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm gonna know what to do.
What's wrong? What's wrong, cuz?
Maybe that was a mistake. It must have been
shit hell.
Did the Mavs sign Westbrook? No.
What?
Couldn't have been.
They can't sign him unless he's.
No. That was a question mark. I misread it. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, what
situation?
Look, that changes the whole dynamic of tomorrow's show.
It would definitely listen. We would have a really good show, even better than what we had planned, if that had happened. So, okay. Y'all be good. Love y'all. Talking noise, peoples. Good night, Catherine. Oh, she's so sweet.
Good night.
Love Catherine. She's a sweetheart. And the rest of y'all, good night. Have a good night. And yeah, we'll be back on Thursday.
Peace.
Peace.